Welcome to Master Debate in Ithaca's premier home for the best discussions. I'm your host, Jackson Roberts. Today we'll discuss a topic near and dear to every pizza lover's heart: toppings. A few years ago, the Huffington Post announced that the two most common ones were pepperoni and sausage. But which is better? Here today with me are two experts with a good amount of knowledge on each topping who think that one is better than the other. On one hand, we've got Matthias Weilman, who's known for his extremist ties to sausage groups all throughout the country. And Andrew Carey currently outsources pepperoni to the U.S. from his world-renowned kitchen in Italy. Guys, how we doing?
Good to be here.
Good to know that Andrew's stealing jobs from hardworking Americans. But
Listen, pepperoni is a hot commodity.
It's lucrative.
And I will say this, both toppings are definitely popular, but which is better? Matthias.
I got to go with sausage. Look, it's just adding the flavor to the pizza is so important with the toppings. I think sausages do that so much better. And sausages are a lot more filling, Jackson. That's why I like it better than pepperoni.
Andrew, that's a good point.
See, I think that pepperoni is much more flavorful than sausage. It has the spice in it, and there's just nothing better than getting a fresh pepperoni pizza right out of the oven.
Oh, nothing like getting a nice pepperoni pizza from Papa John's, right?
I did not order from Papa
272 Papa's, nothing like it. Look,
Well, what if it's a local restaurant that's known for, making the pepperoni on its own, or perhaps getting it from Andrew's Famous Kitchen?
Well, I don't have the money to get it from Andrew's Famous Kitchen, and when
Some restaurants do.
When it comes down to it, I just think that sausage is better because it's better on the pizza. It's easier to put on the pizza. It's not as much hard work as pepperoni. And then if it falls off the pizza, then it's very easy to just put back on, and you can just enjoy the pizza that way.
Well, see, pepperoni is also easy to put back on the pizza, Matthias. And also, what pepperoni has is when it does fall off that pizza, that extra weight, you can't have it on a slice. It ruins the entire slice and the integrity of a good slice of pizza.
Now, Matthias does bring up an interesting point. With pepperoni, when it falls off, sometimes it takes the cheese with it. You don't always have that with sausages.
It does take the cheese with it, but it's almost infused in the pizza, so that can't happen. It prevents it from happening.
Interesting.
See, I don't really want it to be infused in the pizza. It's called toppings for a reason because it has to be on top. The pepperoni, it's basically one with the cheese, and that takes away from the flavor of the cheese and the experience that you get from eating a nice New York pizza, biting in, just the cheese dripping down. There's nothing like that. When that pours on to the sausage, mamma mia.
Now, but if you like toppings, though, and this is for both of you, how can you enjoy it if it falls off?
Well, if it does fall off, that's why I think sausage is so much better, because pepperoni, it falls off. It's flimsy, just flinging around all the time. There's nothing good to do with pepperoni there. What are you going to do? You're gonna eat it? What is it, like a little cracker like that? With sausages, if it falls off, it's like a little meat. It's more filling, so you can eat it like an actual meal, or you just put it right back on the pizza, and it's so much easier to put on the pizza. So again, when it gets to that point where you have like 2 bites left of your pizza, and you're like, oh, this pizza isn't that good. It was more the toppings that made it. And then you look down on your plate, and you have like 3 pieces of sausage there. 1, 2, 3. Ow. Bang.
You do have
Game
options
over.
with the sausage that you might not have with the pepperoni.
You do have options with the sausage, but the one thing I'll say about sausage is there's so much more room for error to mess up a good sausage on pizza. I mean, I don't want to get
Art takes
any
perfection,
sausage
Andrew.
that is tough, gamey. Pepperoni doesn't have that problem. It's simple. You can just put it in your mouth, like you said. It's almost a cracker, and it's hard to mess up.
If it's so simple, then how does it get messed up that easily? Like, if you overcook pepperoni is not good because it just cracks, and that takes away any flavor that it might have even started with. I don't think it started with that much anyway. And you talk about it not being hard to mess it up, but if you undercook pepperoni too, then it's all flimsy like that. And I don't want to be slapping people around with that pepperoni. That's not good.
And an interesting point there is, can you have too much of it?
I don't think you can have too much pepperoni.
Interesting.
I mean, if you have a ton of it, then that's a different story. You want to be able to see the cheese on there and obviously be able to enjoy the other flavors that the pizza brings.
See, the difference with that is that you have, again, the sausage is an actual topping. So when you have the sausage on top, you can see the cheese under it. You don't forget that the cheese is there. With the pepperoni, you forget it's there. You just see a blob of just brown, red, whatever it is. And you're like, oh, there's no cheese under here. With the sausage, however, it's much easier to not mess up the ratio, because everyone knows the ratio is super important. With the sausage, you can place as many as you want, and you can really get a full visual of the field of how many sausages you're putting on. With pepperoni, just so much more surface area because of its round shape. So when you're putting it on a pizza, which is a triangle, it's a little hard to kind of measure, what the ratio is. I put a lot of math into when I put in toppings. So with sausage, it's a lot easier because it's smaller.
You do have the ability to measure.
See, if you're putting math into it, then you're thinking too much. You're just
I
thinking
don't
too
think I'm
much
thinking
about
too much.
this slice of
I
pizza.
take my pizza very seriously, Andrew. Meat Lovers
Well,
Pizza
I'm sure
is made
Andrew
by
does
sausage.
too, right?
I mean, I take it extremely seriously. I outsource pepperoni.
Clearly
I
not.
can't take it seriously.
Clearly not taking it seriously if you're doing pepperoni. I mean,
Real quick, what does yours offer that the others doesn't?
mine just offers convenience. At the end of the day, you want to be able to eat it easily and not have it morph into it, and you want a topping.
Andrew?
Mine offers a flavor unmatched that sausage, just cannot replicate.
Interesting, interesting. Well, that's going to do it for us here on Master Debate, and definitely an interesting debate. When we come back, we will discuss whether or not Brian Roberts is actually insane. Stay with us.